So guys, I don't know if you've heard the news, but Jermall Lyons only Charlo has been arrested. Shocking news. Guys, I'm not gonna go too much into it because I've read it. Apparently it was something to do with money and a whole wait with a waitress or whatever it was. But the reason why I wanted to do this video is because I like Jermall Charlo. I think Charlo is a very good fighter, and the problem we have with a lot of these young fighters, good fighters like Jermall Charlo, they seem to be getting themselves into trouble, and they seem to be getting themselves into situations they don't really need to get themselves into. Reason why I don't like talking on these incidents, because firstly, I don't know what happened, so I'll be speculating, so I don't really want to talk about the incident. But what I want to talk about is that this guy's a very good fighter, a talented fighter. He's young, he's in his prime. You can't afford to waste your prime years or get into trouble. And we saw what happened with Adrian Broner. Errol Spence seemed to get himself into trouble with the accident. And, Javonte Davis has had issues as well. It seems to me these guys, everybody wants to be like Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. But how many times did you see, I know Floyd had with his thing, but that was towards the back end of his career. But how many times did you see Floyd and Manny getting into trouble? They were very focused and dedicated to the sport of boxing, and you never really saw them get into trouble or get involved in any great fight. Even Canelo, where do you see Canelo get involved or be in some kind of controversy? It affects your career because all that media stuff, all that bad press, it gets to you. You imagine sometimes on my YouTube channel, and these guys are far bigger, they got far bigger platforms and social media and stuff. Someone says some horrible comment to me, I feel it. And like I said, my platform's small compared to these guys. These guys are, big names and got hundreds of thousands of followers and stuff. And, so it can get to them. You don't need that kind of bad energy, that bad press. And Jermall Charlo is very good. And it's a very key moment in his career. He needs to get his head down and needs to get focused and get these big fights made, man. Get these big fights made. I really want to see Jermall Charlo fight, Andrade. I want to see Jermall Charlo fight Golovkin. And at the minute, boxing fans are really frustrated with these young guns because it seems to us like a lot of these young guns are not fighting each other. And it's frustrating because the fans are getting frustrated because we're not getting these big fights. And we're thinking to ourselves, when are these guys going to step in the ring and fight one another? And it's frustrating, man. It's frustrating because Jermall Charlo is a good fighter. He's a good fighter, but I want to see him fight. Like, since he's moved to middleweight, he won the title. And then after that, it's been like, okay, who have you been fighting? Literally, they need to step up, man. They need to step up and fight top-tier competition. Otherwise, before you know it, some of these guys like Andre's 33, before you know it, they're going to be 35, 36 and thinking where their boxing career gone. They'll be past their prime. And then we're going to get Mayweather-Pacquiao situation where we're going to get two guys that are fighting each other at past their prime. Thing is, what I don't understand about these big fights not being made, this is what staggers me. They must be getting paid a shed load of money, right? They must be getting paid a huge amount of money to fight the competition that they're fighting for them not to be wanting to fight. Because surely common sense would tell you that these are prize fighters. Surely they would want to fight the best competition because if they're fighting champions, the money is going to be far greater. There's going to be more interest, more hype, more promotion. So surely common sense would tell you that the bigger the fight, the more the money, the more the press, the more the attention, the bigger you're able to promote yourself, the bigger you become as a brand. So I don't understand why they wouldn't want to take fights with each other because there's going to be bigger fights. There's going to be bigger paydays. So I don't understand why there's a lot of fighters today, that should be fighting each other, young champions not fighting each other. Because surely by fighting each other, that's where you're going to create a legacy. That's where you're going to make more money. That's where you're going to get a huge promotion. And off the promotion, you're going to become a bigger name. So I don't understand why, the avoiding and this stuff don't help. This outside of the stuff, we know what happened with Adrian Broner. He kind of went, same happened to him. He kind of got involved in a lot of stuff. And, his career now, he's at the end of his career, really, when you think about it. And Jermall Charlo's a champion. But like I said, time doesn't wait for anyone. Time's passing by. Time's passing by. And these guys are getting older. And Jermall Charlo's been around for a very long time. Andrade, like I said to you, right? Andrade's been around since Khan was in his peak. Think about it. And look how long he's been out of his peak for. When he was in his peak, right, at the top of his game, Andrade was, I believe, champion at 154. I remember him fighting Brian Rose. And people were talking about Andrade back then, about him being a talent. Same with Charlo. Charlo's been around for a very long time as well. You know, he was at 154. Probably not as long as Andrade, or maybe he has. Maybe he has. But Charlo's been around for a very long time. You know, the Charlo's names have been spoken about for a very long time. Like at least a good 7-8 years. But it's worrying that, you know, none of these guys are fighting each other because, like I said, time doesn't wait for anyone. Before you know it, they're going to be old and past their you know, in their middle 30s and, you know, past their prime, you know, and they're going to regret not fighting each other. Now's the time. They need to make these fights. So, yeah, just thought I'd break the news. Leave your thoughts, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let me know what you think about this news. And, guys, remember to please like, share, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.